Welcome to Oregon Voters Digest, the program that brings forward the social and political issues that are important to people living here in the Pacific Northwest. And now, your host, Bruce Broussard.
Welcome again to this segment of the Oregon Voters Digest. I'm Bruce Broussard, your host. By George, welcome. Oh boy, it's been a few, but it's 2 weeks or so. It's been awesome. Christmas, New Year's, the whole 9-yard routine, and boy, we're right now in the midst of politics. I mean, this is big time, folks. It's the change. There's a major change that's happening right here within our area, nationwide also too. But the bottom line is that that's a whole different lane, so to speak. But the fact of the matter is, we want the city of Roses to be back here. We got the living room here in the state of Oregon that we got to straight up so we can get some of these things squared away so I can have a cup of coffee downtown.
Without breathing meth.
Without breathing. That's right. So the name of the game is that these are very serious times at this point in time, and as you know, we're devoting the time here on the show towards helping out. This is a community kind of a deal, and what comes to mind, and I'm kind of like going back and forth a little bit. You've heard the old adage about it takes a village to raise a child. Mm-hmm. Well, okay, it's going to take the whole community, if you will, if we're going to solve the problems within our city. And the thing that we're not going to talk about the past per se. That's water under the bridge. We're talking about today. We've got to clean house. We got to get together. This is not the rich basically running the show anymore. This is about the community, and the rich are still included. We're all here, and we got to solve these problems. And naturally, there's the political aspect of it. So for those of you, real quick that understand what the definition of politics, it's you, the community. It's the community, and we're the ones that makes the rules. And then we elect folks, if you will, to represent us. So we basically come up with the platform and the ideas of what we need to change in order to get this thing back to where it should be. We do that, and then we appoint someone, and that's what they're supposed to represent. And that's why we're going to be spending this time in the Oregon Voters Digest here to make sure we educate you, the voter, you the community, to know where you sit. You sit at the top of the heap. We appoint individuals, and you do that through an election process. And so that's why it's so important that you clearly understand what this new form of government that we have here in the city of Portland. Very, very, very important. And there's some pluses, and there's some minuses, but the fact of the matter is, you, the community, basically got together, round table, put that committee together, and put the definition of what this system, this new system is all about. You need to understand that. Very important. It wasn't about the well-to-do. It wasn't about private, other citizens, the money, or this, that, and the other. No, we did that. Those individuals were picked by commissioners, the mayor, and the city. And at the end of the day, you, the community, that's our representation. Now we got to go around. As you know, just briefly, we got 4 districts, and we're going to have 3 commissioners per district. They're not going to be alone. There's going to be 3 commissioners per district. So that's a very important piece. And so those folks, that's the other side of the deal. Those commissioners that's going to be elected, again, represent the community. That's another reason why we're going to spend so much time to make sure they understand, anybody interested in running for office, clearly understand who are running them. So if you get bought out and someone put monies in your pockets to win this election aspect of it, trust me, it's not them that's basically you're going to be responsible to. It's going to be the citizens. It's going to be the citizens. We're going to be looking at that. You got a platform. You're going to know what that platform is all about. So with that, I'm not going to take any more time. I'm going to basically now hand this baton over to John Toran. And John has been here. You've seen him on a couple of occasions. That's right. He's going to be here with us for the complete lot. And all due respect, I reached out. He's running for office. I'm so glad he is running for office, and I'm just showing how.
Well, I'm exploring that.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm sharing with you right up front with you where my head's at.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the kinds of background and resume, if you will, and responsibility, because in all due respect, you are the youth. I mean, it basically says to me, I've been running for a number of years, if you will, and really in the primary aspect of it. But the fact of the matter is, we got to include everybody. It takes a village. And it's a very important piece on my endeavor to make sure that we get a transition to in that arena. So I'm just making that point, John. I realize I know where you're, but I had to throw it out there as far as I'm concerned. But So with that, John, what I'm going to do is that we're going to have a discussion now. We're going to give you a good, clear picture and a definition of what this new form of government is and what this committee is all about, because it takes money to run a campaign.
Yes.
Even though you may have a voters pamphlet, everybody's going to be able to get in the voters pamphlet, but you're going to have an opportunity to put your name out there, because that's what you're going to have to do to get this piece. But anyway, John's going to go through that piece, and I'm going to represent the citizens, and then basically dot the I's and cross the T's. But John he's prepared himself for that piece, and then you can always call the city if you want to call it on your own and get some directions. But trust me, all eyes are going to be looking at what you do with that money, because it's taxpayers' money that we're going to be handing out to the representatives.
Yes.
Okay, very important.
Well, before we jump into
Talk to you, John.
before we jump into it, Bruce, I wanted to wish you Happy New Year.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're
I
welcome.
appreciate that, and Happy New Year's to you and your family.
How were your holidays?
Oh, they were awesome. They were awesome. My wife and I, we looked at the Christmas ships. You know, we did that piece, and I cooked a little bit. I cooked my anniversary was the other day. Anniversary, 50 years.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah, 50 years.
Not a lot of people do a lot of things 50 years.
That's right, buddy.
Well, so did you cook a turkey?
Well, I was going to have a deep fried turkey, because I'm from down south. I had my pot and my pans and the grease, peanut oil and the whole 9 yards. But no, it's just, I kind of just say, what the heck, I just pull out one of them birds.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I have turkey 2 times a year.
Okay.
Obviously we have it on Thanksgiving.
Yes, right.
But then we also have it on Christmas.
Right.
This season I found out most people actually eat prime rib, or something like that on Christmas. That was foreign to me. But there was a mini controversy this year, and it was actually up in the West Hills.
Okay. Oh.
So a lot of people in the West Hills get their fully cooked turkey from the University Club. Are you familiar with the University Club?
I'm very familiar with the University.
Yeah. So so they would cook all these turkeys for all these people up in the West Hills.
Right.
But they got a new chef this year. And so they stopped cooking the full turkey.
He didn't know how to do it. You should have called my wife, Norma, with the former Norma's Kitchen, right?
Yes.
We have former Norma's Kitchen. We know how to cook
So
turkey.
So if you have some leftover turkey, you might want to share it with any friends you have in the West Hills, because they're not able to get their turkey. They're not getting their turkey.
Well, I'll start off with you. I still have my turkey in the icebox in the freezer. Okay?
If you know anybody in the West Hills, reach out, because they might have been left high and dry by the
maybe
University
put
Club.
that piece together. We got the best seasoning in the world, and I got the pot ready to go.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So that's a good deal.
Today's show, we wanted to, kind of continue our education, and the 2 main subject matters we're going to go over is ranked choice voting and the small donors program. So, just jumping into it, starting here in November 2024, Portland voters will have the opportunity to rank candidates in order of preference. We are going to be able to bring up an example of the ballot here for us. That's our district map.
That's our district. Good. Yep, that's a good district.
But anyway, I'll continue on as we have opportunity to rank the candidates in order of preference. This is one of the 3 major changes underway for the city election system and form of government. The code adopted by City Council last April allows voters to rank 6 candidates. The ballots, here's an example of the ballot right here. This is what they'll look like, and there's your opportunity to rank the 6 candidates. Obviously, that left column's going to have the candidate's name there. This will be used both for county elections and city elections.
County too?
Yes.
They're going to do the same thing with the county?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So
they're not going to have a primary either?
Correct.
The county?
Correct.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
The city and the county, they got to work together.
Yeah.
That's been out there.
Yeah, actually, that was actually the next thing I was going to. So the code adopted by it allows 6 candidates. And in 2024, the voters are going to be voting on mayor, auditor, councilor, and the county commissioner.
Now, it's not just that only 6 people will run. No.
No, we're expecting each district to probably have between 20 and 25.
If not more.
candidates.
In fact, anybody wants to run, they can run.
I got some juicy new rumors on people that are eyeing run, and we have a couple of new declarations.
Oh, okay. We'll find out what that declaration means. I like that.
Yeah.
As time goes. Go on.
But also, this is the first time ever that Portland City Councilors will represent a geographic district. I think we have a copy of the map over here. The city has been broken up into 4 sections. We shared that the last show with the viewers.
Any idea how many people are on that committee that put together this piece?
I don't.
They can always call the city, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. And here's our new district map. Our viewers are probably familiar with this. Broken into 4 districts. Each district's going to have 3 city councilors that are elected each district.
Okay.
Most districts have between 90 and 110,000 voters in it.
And they made sure they try to balance it as much as they could.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And they also tried to make sure that there was minority representation, like certain percentages in each district. For example, District 1 has the largest Asian representation in it.
Oh, okay.
And hot off the presses, we had, I think he might be the first Asian to declare in District 1. Cale Turn has declared for District 1.
Okay.
So that's like a very exciting addition to the district. You've got the Jade District out there and a strong, community ties within the Asian community there.
Oh, okay.
So
how about district number? Well, where's the city? What district is the city in?
City Hall.
Yeah.
That's in District 4.
District 4. Okay.
Yeah. So District 4, I don't know if District 2 or District 4 is the largest geographic district. To me, it seems like District 4 is, and that basically goes from Linton all the way down to right north of Lake Oswego.
Okay.
And then it actually jumps across the river and includes Sellwood, Westmoreland, Eastmoreland, and what's that 4th neighborhood over there? Eastmoreland, Sellwood, Westmoreland. What's the 4th one over there?
Yeah, well, Milwaukee. I mean, that's up in the middle.
No, that's a different city.
Not that. It's different. Okay. I don't know, but anyway.
Oh, Reed.
Reed.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Reed College. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's.
And so there are a couple of people I do know that have declared that do live in that Westmoreland area. Eli Arnold, a Portland police officer who recently declared, yes, he lives in Westmoreland. And then Tony Morse. He's been a operative in the Democratic Party at Oregon. And I think he was like the first person to declare in District 4. It was funny. Rumor I heard was that when he declared, he originally thought that he was running for District 3, the Kremlin. And but when he went down to the election office, they informed him that he was in District 4.
In District 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it does create like a very unique opportunity. For example, in District 4, like the magic number to get elected is 27,000.
27,000.
Yeah. So if once a candidate gets 27,000 votes, they're elected. Their name's removed off of it, and then basically their names kind of removed from the ballot. And everybody that was like ranked number 2 moves up to rank number 1, and then they start counting over and over again. One of the criticisms about the new process is that we're not going to get election results probably for about a week after election day. And traditionally.
Oh, so wait a minute. Make sure that it's good. He got once he gets to 20-something, that's the max, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the max.
Right. So as soon as you hit 27,000, you're elected. Boom. And your name's basically taken off. You're elected to the position, name's taken off the ballot, everybody else's number is moved.
But what if someone, the second person, get the same number? What's in?
Both of them are removed.
Oh, but they're there. They're number 1 and number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So whoever gets that number gets there. And then now after that deadline passes, those are the only ones that will be on there at that point.
Yeah, I think the deadline to file is I think it was like September 1st or like late August.
Okay.
The earliest one can file is June 1st. But right now, what candidates are filing are intent to run.
Oh, intent to run.
Correct.
That's a state deal, right?
Yeah, that's a city deal.
That's a city deal.
And that's signed in conjunction with applying to the Small Donors Program.
The Small Donors Program. Okay. So let's get that real clear for a lot of folks to understand. So you so I take it you can start putting names together now, right?
Yes.
You can start getting your names together, blah, 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 and put a little list, name and address, and how much, right?
And then, how much they're going to give, but also just, counting your votes. And,
just counting the votes.
Yeah, where are you going to get your, 30,000 votes from?
I got you.
And
they have to be from the city.
From your district.
From your district.
Yes.
Oh, this has to be from the district
piece. Yes.
Not basically inclusive of the entire deal.
Right.
Oh, okay. Right. Only the mayor's office, right?
Mayor's citywide, and then the auditor citywide also.
But the rest of them, each district.
So each district has between 90 and 110,000 voters.
Okay. And so the city council, how many? What's that number? You mentioned that number once before.
To get elected, or the per district?
Per district.
90 to 100,000, and then of that you need 25% of the votes.
25% of the vote. Okay. So when you get to that max number, what's that max number? Then you just remove it.
Remove name. You're elected.
Well, what's that number for the city council?
So depending on the district, it's going to be 25% of the number of voters in the district. So in District 4, it's going to be approximately 28,000 voters.
I got you. Okay. So then you just get removed on the sign.
And you're elected. You're good. And then with this election. Actually, it's the people running for District 1 and 2 are getting elected to 4-year terms, versus District 3 and 4, they're getting elected to 2-year terms.
Okay, and then it just cycles out.
Yeah, and then after that, then the next election will be 4 years, so the whole city council won't be up for election every year, just half.
Okay, so 1 and 2 would be 4 to start with.
Yep.
And then 3 and
4, 2 years.
2 years, okay.
So essentially, people that are running, in District 3 are going to be campaigning, for 3 years straight, pretty much.
I see. I got you. Interesting.
Yeah.
How they did it.
Yeah.
That's interesting how they did it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
And so, that's our introduction to ranked choice voting. And then what that kind of ties into is like, how are you going to pay for it? How are you going to contact 109,000 people?
Exactly.
So what was approved was the City of Portland's small donor elections program. And the intent of that program is to reduce the influence of money in politics and encourage election of people to city office who are reflective and accountable to all Portlanders. Couple of rules on that are potential candidates are required to have only one bank account, and they have to have paid back all pre-existing campaign debt.
Okay.
Also file a notice, that's what we're talking about here, filing a notice of intent with the city.
Okay.
So that's like when you see the City of Portland has an elections page with people that have declared. So they've met those two steps. They've filed the notice of intent, and then they've also gone through the mandatory training for the small donors program.
What about the intent piece? Is there a deadline there at some point?
I believe it's going to be September.
September?
Yeah.
So you got until September, if you will, to do the intent piece.
Right.
And can you basically start getting your voters now?
A lot of people are.
But you got to have the records.
A lot of people are getting their donors all lined up.
The donors lined up. Okay.
And so the small donor program officially opens up February 1st.
February 1st.
Right.
Okay.
And so, checks will be cut from that within a couple of weeks. But there's a little bit of controversy around that. But I'll go through a little bit more on the rules before I talk about like the scuttlebutt that's going on a little bit about that.
What's that all about?
So, in order to qualify for what the small donors program does is it offers 9-to-1 matching for every contribution that people receive. So candidates for mayor must raise donations between $5 and $350, and they have to raise 750 of those. in order to qualify for the matching funds.
750. No, just to even. Okay.
That's for the mayor's race.
Okay.
For the city council race, it's still the same $500 to $350 threshold.
Okay.
But they only have to get they have to get 250 donors
for that respective district.
Right.
Okay.
They don't have to, the donors don't have to live in the district.
Oh, they don't.
But they do have to live in the city of Portland.
Okay. Really?
To qualify for matching.
250.
To qualify for the matching funds.
Okay. The same thing with the mayors. And
Yeah.
okay.
You can still get money from whomever.
Okay.
You know, you could get money from somebody in Florida.
Okay.
But that wouldn't be eligible for the matching
They
component.
have two separate accounts then, to a certain degree, right?
No. It's just you just have to.
They will pick just to make
You just got to.
You note that.
You've always got to get the voter's address, occupation,
I got you.
name,
Okay.
in order to do that. And so once you have their address, you'll be able to realize they don't live in the city of Portland.
Will they give you? Will the city give you forms? That's kind of,
Yes, the city does give you forms,
Okay.
and then the city you'll turn in a list.
Okay.
And then the city will audit that list and make sure the person lives in the city of Portland. They didn't give too much money, or they gave enough money, and so typically candidates will get more initial donations than they need, with the expectation that some of those donations will be disqualified for
I think I heard that. I think when Commissioner Gonzalez indicated that he was going to run for mayor.
Yeah.
He made the point about the fact that I got that, so to speak, PACs and stuff like that were basically giving him monies.
Yeah.
Through that program. He's going to go through the small donors program.
I'm not sure. I asked a couple of people if he was going to go after the small donor program.
Right.
Rene Gonzalez does not have fundraising problems.
Right, exactly.
So it is very likely.
He's not going to go possibly. Maybe that was just because I noticed PAC. It said PAC, meaning organizations.
Right. So with where PACs fit in is like what they're able to do is independent expenditures, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But that's sort of what people talk about, like the dark money of politics.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it's unaccountable and nobody knows. You kind of know where it's from and everything like that. So with those PACs, they can support a candidate, but that candidate can't be associated with that PAC in any way.
Well, if they get the money from
they're not giving money to the candidate. They're making expenditures on their behalf. So, for example, they could run a television commercial. They could send out a piece of mail.
So why should they be allowed to go into the small donors program? They're going to get big money on that.
Well,
Gonzalez going to get big money on that stuff.
Yeah. So, well, I did talk to somebody that is, he wasn't comfortable having any kind of quotes attributed to him, but he's very involved in campaign finance, and he had a lot of thoughts on that. And
he's a very active guy. In fact, he's probably one of them. As far as I'm concerned, he's the most active, and then Dan is number two, so to speak, the most active city council people. And being that you got the mayor there too, aspect of it, but those guys are, they're pretty popular, if you will, with the business community and as well as other folks. But they're out there. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then just another thing for the viewers to understand is that anytime a campaign donation is made, or the campaign spends money, they have to report all those expenditures.
Okay.
And then, I believe it's quarterly at this point of the year, but as it gets closer and closer to election time, that time frame shortens up. And so I think once you get towards October of 2024, they're going to have to report once a week on the campaign and expenditure. One of the things that the city has stressed is that transparency is a crucial value of the small donors program. And so to answer your question, you do have to apply for certification between February 1st this year and August 27th.
Okay.
So August 27th is your deadline. Once the candidate has collected the required number of matchable contributions, they then can apply for certification, not before. If approved, the office will match donations from Portland residents 9-1, and then you'll get matching contributions also from the contributions the candidates already collected. So you're seeing right now a lot of people are collecting. There's a few people, Angelita Murillo, Steph Roth. I even think I saw something about Candace Avalos. They've reached that 250 donor
They've actually
threshold.
gone outside. You can go out and on the streets and
On the phone,
On the phone. On the phone too.
Right, they call people on the phone, get their donation.
Okay,
You can make it through the website and everything like that.
Interesting.
So to be certified, just to be clear, collected the required matchable donations, filed for office, and you can file for office either by paying a fee or collecting signatures on a nominating petition. The city will give you a form for that. And then you have to report all your contributions and expenditures. The political word for that are your C&Es. People look at other candidates' C&Es to understand where their support is and who's giving money to their campaign. It's kind of telling. And also, of course, you have to follow all the rules associated with the program.
Well, what about it? I was out in the homeless camp talking to some of the vets the other day, and they were saying, what about $5? If I gave somebody, if they give $5, will they give them forms?
Yes.
They'll have forms for those
forms. You just have to collect their name, their address, their occupation, and that's part of the transparency. That'll be part of the report you turn into the city. And they just want to make sure you're a Portland resident from an individual. Can't be corporate donations. From a person at least 18 years old. And again, if it's cash or money order, you have to make a attestation. But
what about in order to vote now? I mean, do they necessarily have to have a voter's card or stand in?
In order to donate?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
Well, you don't even have to be registered.
Just be a resident.
Just a resident.
Gee whiz. Oh boy. And how long of a resident do you have to be? A year at least?
I'm not sure about that. I'll look into that. I'll have an answer for the viewer on the next show.
The way we got so many of these folks coming across the border that we want to get out of here.
So, and then the other thing we'll say is after the election, candidates must return any unspent public funds to the Office of Small Donor Elections. So, the big controversy going on right now is the small donor program has been underfunded. Underfunded. I think they have something like $4 million, or maybe this whole charter form has like $32 million, right? So, the big thing is, and this was reported in the newspaper, is that Mayor Wheeler is basically going to be able to make the decision on this because the other candidates are conflicted out of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I mean, if they're like
sitting there,
MAPS apply for the small donors program.
They're advertising every day.
Yeah, he can't vote on that. And so it from what I've heard,
that's good.
Is that Wheeler will have the unilateral ability to cut the amount of funds. Well, so
to a certain degree.
Instead of $100,000, for those 250 signatures, you're looking at only getting $40,000.
Oh boy, I tell you, and then having to live with all these other entities, you have to do the requirements and all the rules and the regs.
Yes,
you might be better off just collecting your money and staying away from that piece.
Yeah, and so if we could do the map one more time, I did reach out to a couple of candidates to ask them about how they felt
about that. Yeah,
about
we
Wheeler.
got some comments.
Yeah.
Anybody?
So we have. So the first the first candidate I reached out to was Steph Roth. She's a candidate in District 1. She's one of the top fundraisers so far. I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive she's met the threshold to actually qualify for the program. I'm going to read an exact quote from her. And she responded to me via Twitter, and this is Steph Roth, quote, I would say the 2020 election cycle had only 3 seats, and the council funded the program at $3.4 million. This cycle is a one-time transformative election cycle for Portland with 12 new seats and a new system. It stands to reason that the program would require more in this singular moment in our city's history. I don't understand why the city council doesn't see this.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, let's say right off the bat, if that happens, and all due respect to a lot of folks who were just running for the money,
yeah,
there won't be people.
It changed a lot of people's campaigns plan.
It definitely did. It definitely
And
did.
so I was wondering, you know, it's like they signed some kind of contract in order to get into the small donors program, and then they started performing on that contract. You know, they started going out and getting donations, and then I'm just from the business world. There's this legal concept of promissory estoppel, which means that if two people agree like on a deal, and then the person that's supposed to perform starts performing, you can't just go and change the terms of the deal on them.
But from the standpoint of the person who's paying the bill.
Right.
I was protesting at the beginning.
Yeah,
it was too much money because we made the statement on a couple of one things that we did. It was, in fact, we're talking about maybe $200-300 million or so. It was a lot of money.
Yeah,
taxpayers. We don't need to be taxed anymore. In fact, even one of the commissioners, Dan and Rene, basically were talking about raising taxes for more money for the parks and stuff and the fire department. We don't need more taxes.
I don't know if the environment has an appetite for that right now.
Yeah, well, definitely don't have any environment. Point blank.
I mean, just the return. Yeah. You know, people's return on the tax.
Well, I think Rene understood. He came right back after and did a little press conference on that piece. Said, well, he's not interested in that tax deal because he was with Dan. Yeah, and Dan was the one that brought the issue up. He's I think one of the bureaus he's relating to is the parks. Yeah, and he was trying to raise some more money.
Rene Gonzalez is fire.
That's right.
And then Dan is parks.
Yes, both of them. Both of them going to raise the taxes.
Yeah, and well, they're in a tricky. Like I know for Dan, he's in a very tricky situation, and because I don't know if you saw in the newspaper. There was $15 million approved for the Steel Bridge skate park.
Right.
Did you see that?
No.
And so people are up in arms over this, you know, because like they had to take lights out of Irving Park because like they didn't have any budget.
Exactly.
Right. But then people are scratching their heads. It's like, well, if you can't fix the existing parks, how are you getting money for this new parks? Well, they weren't very clear in their reporting in that new parks are paid by system development charges, commonly known as SDCs. So whenever there's a new development, when the developer goes and gets their permit, one of the fees that they have to pay is SDCs, which essentially is a charge for the impact on the existing infrastructure. Everything from streets, police, fire. And so they have very specific rules on how those SDCs can be spent. They can't be used on past projects. They have to be used on future projects. So you'll see, like, especially the neighborhoods that have a lot of new development, they're getting new parks. One of my first construction projects was the new park over on 71st and Killingsworth. And so that was paid through SDCs. This new Steel Bridge skate park is going to be paid with SDCs.
Interesting. You know, in all due respect, you know, Dan's lane is housing and homeless. That's his background. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's why I was impressed when he ran for office. In fact, I even had him on the show, and you know, because of his brother. You know, his brother's. I'm sorry, he passed away not too long ago.
I heard he had like a bit of a habit, and he was homeless also.
Yes, and in fact, Dan was too at one point in time. You know, he brought his piece on the. He did a piece on the show once on politics. I mean, on TV regularly, and he did his piece, kind of showed his background a little bit in terms of how he got in this, that, and the other. So he had the quality. He'd been there. So that was a perfect lane for him to
lived experience.
Yeah, right there. You know, and then now it's said he's jumped in these different areas, and he's always challenged the things that he's done when he goes from one bureau to the other. And that's not his lane.
Well, we've got some juicy rumors coming up a little bit later on the show.
We got 25 minutes. So
but let me give you some other quotes. I also spoke with Jesse Cornett about the
Cornett.
cut. Yes, Jesse Cornett. He ran agast Steve Novak back in like 13 or something like that.
And Novak's back too, by the way.
Yes, but like I first met Jesse working on the Oregon Bus Project.
Okay, yes. And
so it was like
very exciting young man.
Yeah, there was about 10 of us sitting around in a meeting together. Jefferson Smith brought us all together.
I like it.
We had a meeting and threw out a bunch of ideas, and it was awesome to see those guys take it to where they had.
And I'm waiting for Jefferson since you brought his name up.
I think he's going to get in.
I think he's going to get in.
I think he is too.
I think he's going to get in. He's going to get in.
Do you know what district he's in? 2?
I don't.
I'm going to guess 2.
It could be 2. Yeah, it could be.
He's
2.
always been a Northeast guy.
Yeah. I think he's in 2, but I think he needs to be on. Yeah,
Absolutely.
He brings some excitement. He brings good excitement.
So Jesse Cornett had this to say about the cuts to the small donor program. He's running in District 3. This is quote for quote. Yes. First, it should be fully funded. To the extent that it's not, the number of contributors should be lowered, not the match. And he said he would be happy to come on the show and talk to you about it in nuance.
Love to have him. Hey, the guy's got background. He's got a lane. He's got.
He did a lot of really good organizing with Bernie Sanders.
So. Oh yes, I remember that bus project. Oh my God,
and
that was awesome.
He's even dipped into the business world. Somebody told me that he was a bar owner at one point.
Oh, okay,
also,
okay. He's a communication guy.
Yeah, and he has experience with in the recovery world. Also, I think he's on Oregon Recovers or something like that.
He's involved.
They're working on overturning
good man to be a part of the deal. I might add real quick, like I think the objection piece a lot of times when they change in the numbers because the community already picked the form.
Yeah.
They put the piece together.
Just turns it into a moving target.
Yeah, and in fact, those people right at that point in time put together their staff, that whole 9 yards. It's going to take money. That's what the deal is.
Made promises to people.
Made promises to people, whatever. They should not have changed anything.
Right.
It should have been just the way it is. And like I said, the quicker we can maybe divert some of those other dollars that we put in the pot for homelessness and we're not doing anything but just spending the money. Got me? And put some of that money.
Yeah, they're just sweeping people and moving them from one corner to the next.
This is ridiculous.
Pretty misguided. And I reached out to one other candidate about the cuts to the small donor program. Eli Arnold is running in District 4.
Okay.
He lives over in the Sellwood area.
Okay.
He is an active Portland police officer.
Oh yes, well yeah, police department.
And said,
good to be.
And this is his quote unquote. It isn't pleasant to be taken by surprise. He didn't like that surprise part of it. That was my emphasis. But when this program was designed, no one was anticipating an election of this size. It will incentivize connecting with Portland residents and amplify small business. He is still happy to participate.
Oh, good. Hope he'll come on the show.
Yeah.
I mean, he boys in blue, you know what I mean?
Well, we need to have a discussion about the enforcement of laws.
Oh, yes.
When we have a discussion about enforcement of laws, law enforcement has to be a big part of it.
Exactly.
But also the policymakers have to be a part of it, and the community needs to be a part of it.
Exactly, because they're the enforcement from the standpoint. They are the enforcement of the law. They are the laws, if you will, and the police are the law enforcement.
Correct.
Right. Point blank.
But I think what the people have an interest in is the enforcement of the laws.
Yes, and that's important.
Because when you live in a city, you sign an unwritten contract.
Exactly.
Which is an expectation to conform your behavior in a certain amount of way. You can't drive as fast as you want. You can't shoot your guns wherever you want.
Exactly.
You got to get garbage service. There's all kinds of things that we have to cooperate on. And the point behind that is because everything you do in life has consequences.
Exactly.
And so, you can never get rid of consequences. You can only shift who bears the consequences. And so right now what our leadership or lack of leadership is doing is making small businesses and the residents bear the consequences of the bad decisions that they're making. And so I did speak to somebody that has extensive ties to campaign finance.
Oh, okay.
And he didn't want his name attributed to anything, so I'm going to leave that out.
All right.
But his main criticism of the small donor program was that, or not the small donor program, but I think this more had to do with caps on the amount that people can donate. So as we said earlier, the max donation you can get in the small donor program is $350.
Right.
If you don't participate in the small donor program, the max contribution you can get is $579.
Oh.
And an example of that, somebody not participating in the small donor program was Ted Wheeler. His last election.
Well, he doesn't need it.
So that's exactly the point. So what he did was he put $100,000 or $200,000, whatever number he put. He funded his whole campaign.
Oh yeah,
So his campaign committee didn't run any money.
Right.
But you had the
the other guy.
The outside groups,
Right.
the issue advocates that were running, commercials either for Ted or against Ted. He was running against Sarah Ironor. How do you say that?
Ironor. Yeah.
I know
Sarah. Yeah.
Well, how do you say her last name? I see it, but I can't say it. She's over in District 3.
Yeah, she's gonna run. I think she's gonna.
I think she's gonna run too.
Yeah, she should run. She ran for mayor several times.
Yeah,
I ran with her. I mean, that's good.
So his criticism is of the campaign, and this is what Ted faced was, and why he didn't end up getting fined for it, was that it limits people's voices.
Yep. So he challenged the process.
Yeah, it limits people's voices.
Yeah.
And another criticism about the caps on donations that this person had was that social media allows lies to be cast really, really far for zero expenditure. And so
Constitution, my friend, freedom of speech.
The candidate should have an opportunity to counter that.
Oh yeah, I
and
agree.
then when those caps are in place, it limits their ability to maneuver. And so this person believed that campaign finance limits have gone too far. Limiting people to $579 or $350. I think. This person believed that somebody giving $1 million to a campaign is too much. I think the federal limit is like $2,500. This person thought that maybe the limit should have been $10,000. And his main criticism is that it's taking away the ability to take money, pushes people into the world of unaccountable dark money.
Okay.
So if they still got to get their message out either by TV, radio, internet, and so the space is going to get filled.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want dark money filling it, or do you want money being that is accountable to the candidate?
But then at the same time, John, he should have brought. Was he on the committee? He should have brought all this stuff to the committee.
Yeah.
And because we were having all kinds of discussions about this situation, and at the end of the day, the community said, "This is what we're going to do."
Right.
Bottom line.
Well, the one criticism that he also had is that, unfortunately, the average voter doesn't contribute anything to campaigns. That's if you look at the number of people, most people don't contribute anything.
That is an issue, though.
But the reason for that is because people aren't being asked.
No, it's designed. It was designed. That's what we're trying to eliminate.
Yes.
We want them to participate.
And so so some of the suggestions that he brought out about I like it. With the cuts coming.
Yeah.
If Wheeler's going to cut the amount of money that they give out, then they should be able to increase the amount of the maximum donation correspondingly, because people still have their campaign plans in place, and they should still be able to do those campaigns.
Excuse me, French. I'm sorry about it. I might have had some concerns about this, that, and the other. It was passed by the citizens.
Yeah.
Each commissioner and the mayor had the opportunity to put their people on that committee. Mm-hmm. They didn't get the vote.
Right.
And some of those same people that they selected voted for this other piece. Mm-hmm. So that's what we live with. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure we might have made the comment about how much money it's going to cost the taxpayer, but just trust me, the money that we've set aside for this piece, just think about the people who's going to get elected.
All right, let me throw out a hype up for you.
Talk to me.
All right, so let's say a real neo-Nazi, not just a Trump voter, but a real militia attending, just a neo-Nazi came out, got 250 of their members to give them $5,
right,
and then they would qualify for the small donor program.
Right.
Would you be okay with your taxpayer dollar being spent on sending out the neo-Nazi message that they wanted to send?
Well, we got this freedom of speech. We've been, and then the definition
Bill of
Rights.
Yeah, Bill of Rights are real.
That's right. And when you think about when it was put together to begin with, that was a whole different saying.
Right.
That's my point. And we've been trying. It's been changed. This, that, and the other. That's a fact. But the fact of the matter is, we got monies we're spending so much now pots of money. We still haven't a solution to we don't have a solution to the homeless program. Those folks are still stuck, and we got millions and millions of billions of dollars for that matter.
Just sitting at the county
yes,
right now.
as far as I'm concerned, go out there and change some of that money and put it in this other pot. Don't change something we've already voted for.
Right.
I'm sorry, we voted for it. Now let's get down and get to it. Now at the end of the day, excuse the French, if we got a bunch of Nazis in office, we'll deal with it.
Yeah.
But right now, let's move on.
Exactly. Focus on it. So
don't change.
I did want to jump into rumors now. If you want to,
we got 15 minutes.
We got 15 minutes. Okay, and like we mentioned earlier, Cale Toran, he is a Asian American,
right?
And he's a new addition. I believe he's Vietnamese American.
Where's he running from?
He's running out in District 1.
Okay, was he in Da Nang or something?
I don't know.
That's where I was. That's where I was. I'd like to meet him. I'd like to know who this guy is.
I'll reach out to him. And I'll see if we can get him on the show.
Yeah,
I would love to hear what his platform is.
Tell him to come on down.
I know that he was part of APANO, which is an organization supporting Asian Pacific American population.
I want him to join. But
it's got a very well organized political arm. They've been playing. I've heard of them for about 20 years at least.
And with taxpayers' dollars too, by the way.
Yes,
they pushed it.
And it turns out that Rene Gonzalez has taken a decisive fundraising lead in the mayor's race. He looks like he's up to $66,000.
Well, in all due respect, Rene is the mayor.
Almost.
I mean, the guy.
Both still got to get counted.
But right now, he's the only guy, as far as I'm concerned. He's the most. He's out there. He's doing some things, right or wrong. He's just basically putting it on the table and dissect it, and he's doing some things now.
Yeah.
And he's the only one, and then Dan's doing some things too, but in another way.
Well, I've got a little rumor on Dan, but before we get to that. So Renee's taking the lead in fundraising on the mayor's race. In the city council race, District 3, Angelita Murillo.
Okay.
She's a policy advocate and social media influencer. She's a top fundraiser in the Portland City Council race.
Okay.
She was recently on the Bike Portland podcast. If voters want to learn a little bit more about her.
Okay.
And other candidates that have appeared on podcast recently is Olivia Dunn. She's a candidate in District 4. She's raised a ton of money also. She has a long history working in the Oregon legislature. It sounds like legislative assistant, something like that. But she was recently on the Oregon Bridge podcast.
Okay.
And Chad Likens from District 4 was a guest on Progress Portland.
Okay.
And then your favorite guy, Steve Novick.
Oh yeah, Steve. I like Steve.
Did you see his interview on Eye on Northwest Politics?
With Ken Body?
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I did.
And so he's got his website up. That's pretty interesting.
He's an activist. He's good.
Yeah. And you were saying that he was disabled, right?
Oh yeah. This guy, I mean, he's really he's a positive man. Situation from the standpoint of being active and disabled,
Well, I mean, the whole. I feel that's more like a signature.
Oh yeah.
Over the last 20 years, prosthetics have improved quite a bit.
Right.
And so, but. The hook is part of the signature.
Right. That's right. And he's active with it.
Yes,
he's
is
a motivator for a lot of folks who has the hook and don't do nothing.
Yes.
So he's a guy. He's there. Oh, by the way, since you mentioned this about the concerns about these cats can get up there real quick, like the money aspect of it, and I'm talking about the change. Can people get together? Can several candidates get together?
So yeah, that's an interesting development. Let me go through my little rumor section real quick. These are all rumors.
We got about
speculation.
We got about 10 minutes. Yeah,
and then we'll talk about how all this develop.
Yeah.
There are some rumors that Carmen Rubio, the current city commissioner,
I know her.
is about to announce her bid for mayor.
For mayor?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I did hear something from another source.
Talk to me.
Not confirmed, not verified.
Right,
This is
okay.
all speculation.
Right.
I heard she might run for Congress.
I think it'd be a good idea. I think it's a good idea.
I heard she might run for Congress.
I mean, she comes from the most populous area. You know, I'm a Portland kind of a guy.
Yeah.
And she's very active. She has the right mannerisms.
Very articulate. I think she has very strong principles.
Yeah, no, she needs mayor. We got Rene is running for mayor.
Yeah.
That's a Hispanic there. Bang, okay, going there. I mean, I'm not trying to just take it on from that standpoint. But no, she's good. Got women sitting up there on the whole issue with what am I thinking about? You know, gee whiz.
The commission?
No, the congressman.
Earl
the Pearl.
Yeah, we did a little.
I call him Earl the Pearl.
Yeah, we did a little feature on him. A couple weeks ago.
Earl is good. You know, when he's getting ready to get stepped down, he's gonna probably run for that position. Or he's gonna run
Yeah. He's officially. We've got 4 people I think declared in that race so far.
She's perfect.
I mean, she's got the name recognition. She can raise money. I think she's a really strong advocate for Latino issues. Latino community had a recent loss. Are you familiar with Portland Mercado?
No.
It's over on Foster Road. It was kind of like a food court and stuff like that. But they had a big 2-alarm fire.
Oh yeah.
I guess Angelita Murillo had her campaign kickoff event over at that spot.
So she's going to be running for a spot too.
Yes.
Same thing. Well, in all due respect, the Latino community they're very assertive right now. I mean, they're running for office, and I'd say to any other groups, if you will, run for office.
Absolutely.
I mean, get out there too.
Voices need to be heard. The issues need to be looked at.
I can't say anything about a person that's not active that doesn't want to get out there.
It changes the discussion when you're involved.
But make sure you got a lane. Make sure you got a resume.
Yep.
Don't just come up there and say, "Well, I'm Hispanic and all Hispanics should go." No. I will even say that to the masses of Hispanic. Make sure she's got a lane.
Yep.
And make sure she has done some things. So she can be an active candidate.
And then I got a couple more rumors coming out of District 4. Sharon Miernan,
Sharon.
She's term limited out of the county.
Oh yeah, she gotta find another job.
We hear that she's rumored to be looking at District 4, running for District 4.
Okay.
And then another rumor that we heard was that Nick Blosser. We spent a little time talking about him, the former Governor Brown's former chief of staff. He's worked in President Biden's administration on his vote by mail during his campaign. He's rumoring to consider District 4. I believe he's over in Eastmoreland also. He just quit his job over at Portland General Electric.
PG, okay, I can see what PG's been looking for that piece. Yeah, okay, good. But he's not well known though. Locally, as far as the activity is concerned. I mean, like I said, this is a young person's game, or young-minded person's game. Let's put it that way. Okay, that's been active. Okay,
right.
And a lot of these folks are they changing jobs and running for the money in many ways, and this, that, and the other. So, but it's okay. You got all kinds of players coming to the table. Anybody can come, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. But
make sure you got a resume, because I'm gonna be looking at your resume.
Yeah.
We're gonna be having shows on resumes. You know that.
Let's do it. Let's bring them. Let's bring the candidates on here. And have them.
You invited.
Yes.
Give John a call.
We're
set it up.
And then a couple of over in District 2, other heavy hitters that are considered rumored or potential is Mayor Sam Adams.
Oh, Sam good. Hey, he still wants to stay in this.
He's done a lot of really good things. Starting as chief of staff with Vericat. Even before that, I think he was like a legislative assistant in Vericat's office.
Sam knows what's going on. He's participated in Wheelers.
He knows how to make. He knows how to make
a deal.
Yes,
and he's very active. He's minds driven. I mean, hey, he's got a good mind. Hey, as far as I'm concerned, he should run.
To me, Wheeler's office was working best when he was working there.
Yeah, he was.
But apparently he made a lawyer cry which
Politics.
He
No,
made
it's
a lawyer
politics.
cry, and they made him lose his job over that. To me, I think that's a good thing.
That was a good
Have
thing,
you ever
yeah.
seen a lawyer cry before?
Oh, gee,
no,
yeah,
it
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
happen
yeah,
very
yeah.
often.
Yeah, that was a good
And I
thing.
think most of us want to make a lawyer cry if we can.
That's a good thing.
Based on the rates that they charge and
he'd be
everything
good
like
to
that.
Run. That's what he'd be good
Absolutely.
to run. 'Cause we're trying to solve the problem. I mean, he's Portland Roses, right? You got me? Picked up his PhD from Vera.
Yep. Yep. And another rumored potential candidate in District 2 is the Portland Public School board chair, Michelle DePass.
Michelle DePass. Oh,
Yep. She's looking at District 2. And then Marnie Glickman is also looking. I wonder if Marnie is related to Harry and Marshall.
I'm sure the Glickmans, there's only,
Only one Glickman, do you think?
That's right. If there's only one Glickman, he's got the Blazers, right?
Well, that's a royal family here in Portland.
Oh, yeah, big time. Big
Royal
time,
family.
big time,
They
big
brought
time.
the Blazers to Portland.
Oh yeah, they did. Hey, I
Royal
remember-
family.
I remember them early on. I used to work with them.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, good.
Harry was a really great
Oh,
guy.
Harry was awesome.
And
very people oriented. The
Yep.
whole 9 yards.
Got the beautiful stadium built and everything like that.
And his relatives had to be because Harry was there.
Yeah, and then Marshall, he was the one that
Marshall did,
turned
yes.
remodeled the baseball stadium back, Civic
Oh,
Stadium.
the Glickmans are beautiful. They're beautiful people.
Yeah, they really are.
Beautiful.
They've done a lot for the city. And so other people that live in District 2, of course, is Dan Ryan.
All right.
And then Carmen Rubio also lives in District 2. So, if she doesn't run for mayor and decides to stay in it, she could be running for city council, she could run for county, or she could run for Congress. A lot of options on
You
her.
know what I was thinking about doing? I'll tell you what we might do is that we only have 4 minutes. Let's see if we can take 30 minutes off this next show and then get through the, because we need to have this on the front end. Got me?
Okay.
And I happen to have invited someone that I felt would be a good example in terms of a lane built with one of the issues that we're trying to deal with, the whole issue of all of the guns and all this other good stuff and whatever. And we can talk about something like that.
Okay.
And just show people what a lane means.
Yeah.
And what it's so if you don't mind doing that, we'll do that on this next hour. That
Okay.
We'll do, and we'll do that. Because they'll be basically coming back and forth. We'll do, this show is going to be on this Sunday. It's going to be on Sunday. We're here Sunday now, and it's a live show on that one, and then the following Sunday we're going to be able to do this other show, and then we can just continue our deal. That's okay with
Yeah,
you?
let's get some people on here to talk about law enforcement or enforcement of law.
Well, this will be part of it, kind of like indirect.
the lived experience,
Yes,
and it doesn't always have to be completely negative.
Right.
It doesn't have to destroy people's lives.
right.
If anytime a problem happens, the key is to how you react to it.
Right. No, that's for the hour. See, this is just kind of a
Intro.
lane.
Yeah.
This is just kind of a lane piece.
Example of the lane.
Yeah, what a lane should look like, if you will, that it would incorporate within the solution to our programs here in the Portland metropolitan area. Okay, so we got about 2.5 minutes. Any good lasting comments to add to the?
That kind of ties up the rumor mill for me. Things are pretty quiet during the holiday season. People are spending time with their family and everything like that, and just changing the calendar and getting ready for the new year, getting the kids back in school and everything like that.
Exactly.
Did you hear that we have snow in the forecast for next
Oh
week?
yes, very much so, and ice and the whole 9 yards.
Portland always does real well with that, don't they?
But we're still gonna we're still gonna be on. We're still gonna be on.
We might do it by Zoom.
Oh yeah, no, but in all due respect, no, because see, we're going to be doing this show Sunday. This next show, we might be able to do it here. The next show, and we'll take the first 30 minutes of that show.
All right.
Got me, and then we'll do it that way. Okay.
Well,
good.
thanks to God.
Okay,
I always enjoy talking to you.
Okay, hey, same here.
All right.
Oh, this is really good, folks. Now you've got some of it, and as you know, we got a phone number here that you can call the city. You can call them up and ask them any questions if you like some of the things that we've talked about. Have a discussion just like we're doing. Look at it. It's there now. City elections 503-823-4022. Give them a call.
They work for you.
Yeah, they'll work for you.
They work for the
That's
people.
right.
They're
That's right.
there to answer the
This is
phone.
very, very important. We can get this city back. We're going to get this city
Absolutely.
back. And
but we got to hold our leadership accountable.
That's right, very much so. And we're going to definitely be doing this throughout the campaign.
Yeah.
Throughout the campaign.
And the city elections chief is Lewis Hanson.
Lewis Hampton.
Hanson. Lewis.Hanson.
Try to see if we can
there his name is right there.
There you go. Let's see if we can.
You can email Lewis too.
Lewis Hanson. Okay, good. There we go. Yeah, make sure you do that. And then there was the woman who was the chair of that committee. She was neat. She was good. She was always on the tube representing the committee.
Was that Candace?
No, it was,
Avalos?
Was it Candace? No, it wasn't Candace Avalos. Right? That doesn't come. It was another. She was an older gal. She was an older gal.
I'll have to do a little research on that.
Yeah, if we really need. But we'd like to see if we can get her, because she started it.
Yeah.
And that would be neat to have somebody like that to kind of get a sense of what the chief feel about the whole piece. Got my point?
Yeah.
Sounds good? Okay. So look, folks, we've done it. And then, like I said, you'll see us, you're seeing us now. And so next week, we're going to be doing another piece, and we're just going to spend about 30 minutes and just kind of add a few other goodies that we'd like to make sure that it's part of our package.
Yes.
On the first part, okay?
Yeah.
And with that, I want to thank you very, very much for being with us. And
thank you.
Enjoy your day, and watch out for that ice and snow, but that's okay. Not important. We've had some good weather here.
Yeah.
Enjoy your day.